So we cleaned up everything after dinner and ripped out the living room wall.
Because that's what you do after dinner.
That's what you do after dinner.
Okay. It's moving day.
It's moving day!
So, where are we going?
We're going to Heartiness Approach! I'm so excited!
I'll just tell the backstory anyways.
Okay.
Okay, so a year ago, we went to the Mother Earth News Fair up in Oregon.
Right, at the beginning of August.
We were brand new to vlogging.
Yeah.
And they had already, like, they knew who we were.
Yeah.
We'd seen them on Justin Rhodes. We'd watched some of their videos. It was when they were getting ready to...
I don't even know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They were new to us, and we were new to vlogging.
So, you know, we're brand new to vlogging, and they were like, you know what, guys, let's do a meetup. Let's meet up while we're up there. They were going to the Mother Earth News Fair.
And they were in Oregon at the time.
They lived in Oregon at the time.
Yeah.
And...
so that trip kind of blew up, like literally.
Literally. So, what was it, an hour into the trip?
2 hours.
2 hours?
2 hours in, and the truck that we were taking up there, the transfer case
blew a hole in itself. It was epic.
Oh yeah, it was epic, alright. Like an epic expense.
So, we're broke down.
Yeah.
You know, the next town up.
Right.
We ended up putting the truck in the shop. We got a rental vehicle. We made it up there. It was, you know, it was already a
8-hour drive that turned into like a 16-hour thing just to get up there.
We left at 6 in the morning.
Oh my gosh, the whole trip was crazy.
By the time we finally got back on the road, it was already noon. Continued our drive. We didn't get to our Airbnb we were staying at up in Oregon until midnight.
Yeah, that was nuts. And then the next day, we're up in the morning to go to the Mother Earth News Fair. So the whole thing, I was shot. I hadn't gotten on my phone. She had gotten me her contact info while we were driving, and I hadn't been on my phone. So by the time the weekend was over, it was just like, we should have met up, but we didn't meet up. And the whole weekend was just nuts. So, long story short, they've moved from Oregon to Missouri, and now that we're in Missouri, we can finally meet up.
We get to go see them.
So this has been like a year waiting to finally go meet Jim and Brenda. I'm so excited.
Cornerstone Park.
What are you doing?
I'm feeding little Mikey, my sourdough starter from Mike at Pratt Family Homestead. Okay, we gotta talk about our trip to Jim and Brenda's at Heartiness Approach. It was an amazing trip, and most of this is like the 4 days condensed into one because I didn't film a lot. We were busy talking. But after traveling, about the last part of the traveling, I started getting really nervous. It's just meeting new people and trying to figure out how it's gonna go and all that. So we're pulling into the driveway, and their driveway kind of curves a little bit and you have to drive for a little bit. And we see the Lord sent a turtle to us. That's what I'm gonna believe it to be. We see this turtle. It's like a little box turtle, and it's just like meandering its way across the driveway.
Right in the middle of the driveway.
Right in front of us. So I jump out of the car to go save the turtle, and I grab it, and as I grab it, I look up, and there's Jim and Brenda coming out of the house, and we all just start laughing our butts off. This turtle totally broke the ice.
Totally random.
Totally random turtle. Broke the ice, and that's kind of how the rest of the visit went. It was so awesome and so relaxed. So once we got there and we got parked, they of course showed us around.
So this is an Ohio brooder.
Okay.
And
I don't think I've ever seen one like this before.
really cool.
Yeah,
We made
this
it in
was
Oregon.
created in Ohio State University in the 40s.
Okay.
So you have lights here and here.
Okay.
They're sideways. And then we put all of that pine stuff down here. And their feed and their water.
Okay.
And then, when it's too hot, they can come out here. So they can come out, and we put this around here because chickens can get in the corners. If they get in the corners, they get smothered. So this keeps them from being smothered. Then every week, you put another 2x4 underneath here so it raises up higher and higher as they grow. And they stay here 3 weeks, and then they're off to the chicken tractors.
Oh, nice. And they took us to the farmer's market, which was going on that evening. And while we were there, they were putting in their order for their milk for the week from a local dairy person. And she had said, well, hey, if you guys stay till Saturday, then I can put an order for milk for you guys too, and you can pick it up on Saturday at the farmer's market. And so we kind of talked about it, and we went to ice cream.
It was the talk of, I have to have something to do.
Right. If we're gonna stay that long. We hadn't planned on staying that long. We were only gonna stay like, what, 2 days, I think?
Something
maybe.
like that.
We got there Tuesday.
It was the, if they have stuff for us to help them with, yes, I can do that.
Yeah, because we don't want to be a burden, and we don't want to just sit there.
Overstay our welcome.
Yeah, we don't want to overstay our welcome, and we wanted to be able to give back, and also just need something to do. I mean, Ben sitting for 4 days was not going to go well. So we said, okay, if there's a way that we can help you, and you have projects for us to do, be it muck out a stall or something like that.
I told Jim, if you'll work us, we'll stay till Saturday.
Yeah. So we did. So Rinda placed the order for our milk, and we decided to stay till Saturday. So it started with the heater, the furnace. They had an old furnace. It was blowing into the kitchen, I think.
The way it was
set up was super weird. And it was just in the way. And they had plans for things they wanted to do to the house where that needed to go. So Ben said, well, yeah, that's not a problem.
Extra body, extra muscle,
right.
Sure, let's get that thing going.
Super easy. All right, we are, hey look, it's Rinda. We're here at Heartiness Approach, and you're already putting us to work. And we're so happy for that, because Ben was like, hey, do you have anything to do while we're here?
We do.
Yes.
We have work that anybody can come help with.
And we are so excited because we've been so bored on the road. So they're ripping out a heater.
Yeah. And I'm so excited.
We also, I hope we don't break anything. Ben already put a hole in the floor.
Oh well, you know. It wasn't a floor we were going to do right now, but it is.
We might be doing it this week. You never know. And then we have dinner, and we're sitting and talking about their plans for their house and what they want to do in the future and stuff like that. And one of the things that they wanted to do was Rinda wanted to rip out the dividing wall between the living room area and what's right now their office. So we said, hey, we can help.
Right now.
Right now. So we cleaned up everything after dinner and ripped out the living room wall.
Because that's what you do after dinner.
That's what you do after dinner. So we're cleaning up Legos. Jack, tell me why we're cleaning up Legos. To get the wheelbarrow. And why are we getting the wheelbarrow?
We're gonna break their house.
We're gonna break their house. That's the look of a man who's very excited.
These boys.
Oh my gosh, they're so ready.
Look at this little boy.
I'm like a kid in a candy
My
store.
big boy is so excited. We are gonna be busting out walls. We get really serious here at Heartiness Approach, just so you know. had a blast. We had a blast. I think Jim and Brenda had a blast. And the wall was no more. It was actually really nice with it opened up. It worked really well.
Opens up that space.
Yeah, it does. So the next day, the plan was to just kind of button up their laundry room that they had ripped up previously. And Ren and I were going to work in the garden and work on one of the other rooms in the house, just kind of get it all tidied up. And Rena specifically said, all right, today is no more demo. Today we're just putting things back together. Those were famous last words.
Yeah.
While you guys were looking at the laundry room and what needed to be done, you realized that some of the plumbing was kind of funky.
They had this pipe coming through the floor. They had their water lines coming from
the kitchen area.
Kitchen,
yeah.
And what looked to be a drain coming out. It's just chopped off. And when you run the sink, no water comes out of it. So
we figured it had been plugged up somewhere.
Either plugged up
like
or
stuff.
Maybe it was an old line that had been bypassed and there was new plumbing. We found otherwise.
Well, he wanted to change the line that came into the house.
Yeah, he's converting all of his water lines to PEX.
Right.
And that's great. But the water lines that are in the house are all 3/8 copper tubing.
Yeah, which is super small.
So the question came up, what's coming into the house? Where's it coming in?
Yeah.
So we went digging.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're shaking hands.
Oh my goodness.
All right, where's that copper pipe running? All right, I got it.
Oh, did you? You found it?
Found it right there.
There it is! Oh, it goes diagonal to the well house. So you found the line, and that was all great and dandy, but then it was kind of like, oh, we didn't quite know how to attach it from the main line.
Are we gonna dig back to the pump house and run all new lines?
Right. So you guys dug under the sink in the kitchen.
And that was when all the problems started. It just
It's not a problem. Well, they were problems.
It snowballed out of control quickly.
It snowballed so crazily. And I don't know if it was us or if it was just because it's an old house. So you dug under the kitchen sink, and that's when we found that, yeah, that old drain line that's coming out wasn't stubbed up and redone somewhere else.
That was the drain was supposed to be draining. Supposed to be a nice, you know, down out into the septic. Yeah, it was draining under the house.
Under the house. Everything had rotted out.
It was rusted out
The
completely.
whole drain was rusted out, and so all of the water from the sink was just draining under the sink, under the foundation, out into the yard. So then of course that meant, well, this is priority number one now.
Right.
This is an emergency. We
fixed.
can't just leave it like this. It's unsanitary and it's not okay. It's gonna cause more problems.
You can get mold and all sorts of
right.
stuff.
We could not leave it. So you and Jim worked
We hustled
all night long to get the drain and the pipes all put back together. So that meant pulling the old one out and then putting the new one in, redoing everything with PVC.
I think that day there was a Lowe's trip in between everything.
Yeah, I think there
like
was.
we found the problem. It was like, we have to go. Oh, and we ripped up the kitchen.
Oh, we had to, that's right. We had to rip up the kitchen floor to get to all the rest of the pipe. So it was find the pipe, rip up the kitchen to see what's there, go to the kitchen sink, find that whole mess. So kitchen floor's gone, and now the pipes are being redone. But you guys got it all handled. It got all glued up. It was like 11 o'clock at night before it was done. But it got buttoned up. So plumbing was awesome after that.
Yeah, plumbing was functional.
Yes. So then the next day, which was Friday. Yeah, Friday. Friday was the day that we finally got to put all the floors back together.
Yep.
So the problem was when we ripped up the kitchen floor, we saw that a lot of the beams holding the floor joists were bowed, rotted out completely. Some of them weren't even attached anymore.
Everything around the perimeter was completely rotted out.
Yeah.
And then the ones in the middle had bowed. And then when an addition had been added onto the house, they had built the wall on an already sagging floor.
Yes, on top of the flooring, like the tile and everything that had been there. So that they had said that was one of the issues they had with the house when they moved in, was that the kitchen floor just dipped so bad. I mean, she couldn't even put furniture on it, nothing. So we decided, like collectively, that the floor joists really needed to be replaced. They weren't safe enough to rebuild on, and we were comfortable with them being rebuilt on that. And they actually had 2x6s lying around.
They had gotten a whole bunch of rough sawn 2x6s from a friend of theirs. And they had piles of them.
Yeah.
Why buy more when you have all of these sitting here?
Right.
So we were able to piece together floor joists. It was a 14-foot span, so it wasn't too bad.
Right.
We had to cut, we took all of the supports out. It is not a load-bearing wall. The load bearing is around the perimeter.
Right.
We were able to take out all of the old joists, cut the floor that was already, that was installed too low.
Yeah.
Cut the floor, cut the wall, took all the joists out, put in new joists on level.
Right.
And we rebuilt the floor and reattached the wall where it should be.
Right. And it was awesome. Ideally, we would have used 2x8s or 2x12s, but we wanted to use what they had because they had it, and they were good, solid.
We weren't about to leave them with this mess that we helped create.
No, not at all. Not at all. So we just made joists, really big, beefy joists, and hung them all. So Friday was, well, I think Thursday night we had started to put them in.
We'd put a couple in.
And then Friday was putting the rest of them in, getting the wall level, everything secured, and then we got to put plywood on. Now, I don't have any footage of that because we're just so busy.
Terrible vloggers.
We were terrible vloggers.
We were
and
working.
We were so busy.
We were working.
It was, we've got to get this done. Our plan is to leave on Saturday. Obviously, if it hadn't been done, we wouldn't have left.
No.
But the plan was to leave Saturday, and they had been without our kitchen floor for like 2.5 days. So we
felt
okay,
so
let's
bad.
Go. So, all in all, it got done.
Yep.
It's finished. Jim and Renda have tons of footage of it over on their channel because
they were excellent about
they know what they're doing with vlogging.
They filmed everything.
They did.
They already have the vlogs up.
Yes.
And they have a floor to walk on.
Oh, yes.
We even danced on it.
We did. We danced on it. So definitely head over there to see the entire project. It was actually really cool afterwards.
It was.
In it seemed like so crazy and stressful, but we had a blast, actually. It was a lot of fun. We got to work out a lot of like road frustration from just sitting and being pinned up for a while. But I think what was the most cool, that's bad grammar, but whatever, the best part of our visit with Jim and Renda was Jim and Renda.
Yeah.
And the relationship that came out of that was it's just amazing. I mean, it's really amazing, and they have such a special place in our heart.
It was hard to leave.
It
was hard to
really
even
hard
leave the area.
It was like I'm looking at houses around where they are. Properties. They are such amazing, amazing people. The sweetest, the kindest. Renda fed us.
Oh, she fed us some of the best food we have had.
Even
this
the
entire
kids,
trip.
they're like, we like your cooking, Mom, but we really like her cooking. And can you get the recipe for this? They're so sweet. And the conversation never stopped.
Conversation never stopped.
Never stopped.
It was.
And it was all good conversation.
Good visit.
It was really great. Like I said, they have a special place in our hearts, and we are so thankful for the time that we got to spend with them.
Jim and Renda, we loved hanging out with you guys, and loved that you guys
You're making me cry.
let us just get that
Tear
deep
apart your house.
Yes. Destroy the kitchen.
Oh my gosh. But I think that definitely helped making the connection because it was a big like together project.
Yeah.
So that was it. Like I said, go over to Heartiness Approach, Jim and Renda's channel, not only just to see the project itself, but to just go watch them,
go
be with them, go follow them.
them.
They're just the awesome.
They're great people.
Awesome people. And they're doing really cool things. They have so many plans for their property.
They are doing what we want to do.
Yes.
They are our people.
They are like, they're gonna do it.
They are doing
They are doing it. So go follow them, and I'm waiting for October.